Hello, 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 and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I'm a master manifester, and I'm sure you are too because you are diving into content like this. The name of this channel is Manifesting Magic, the practical way. It's still magic, right? You just got to set yourself up for it sometimes, right? And those practical ways include this tangible world we live in. Excuse me for messing with my hair so much. I'm really warm. I just sat outside for about, I guess, a couple of hours, and there's just too many wasps floating around on the ground. I just couldn't get completely comfortable, but I still was out there because I like being outside. And it just started getting really hot. So I'm still kind of warm, but I came, whenever you get in nature, you're going to come up with some really good stuff. You go walking, get in nature, spend some time outside in another place. It probably would have been a better time if I weren't wearing my headphones the whole time. But a part of that makes me feel comfort because I don't really like bugs like I did back in the day. Like I grew up kind of like in a suburban, rural kind of environment, and bugs were nothing to me. I would be around bugs all day and get sweaty. But it's like the further you get away from that, it's like I don't like seeing no moths just sitting on my lawn chair. It's like, get away from me. And I felt bad because I got this spray sitting next to me for these wasps, but I'm like in their house and I'm about to spray to go ahead and kill them because they're hopping around on the lawn. I don't know. We both can't coexist. Maybe we can, but I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable with wasps just hanging around by my feet and stuff. Anyway, this video has nothing to do with that, or maybe it does, right? What I want to talk about today is the importance of sharing with yourself your 3 most important manifestations at any given time. You want to get rid of the ambiguity when it comes to what it is you truly want in life and what things are important to you. Sometimes it's really hard to like establish that overall picture, to like say, this is what this is the thing, this is blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of times we just don't have that settled. And people think, oh, I'm this age, I should know that. Oh, I have kids, I should know that. Oh, I'm married, I should know that. And that's just not the case. You never know what phases you're going to be in at any given time, right? So like last year, you couldn't have told me that I was just going to get off social medias altogether. And I did. And the only thing I had left was like a dormant Facebook page. And when I realized it was still available a couple of months ago, I went ahead and just got rid of that one too, right? I realized I just don't like social media. Like I liked what it was in the very beginning when it was like a pure, authentic sharing of yourself, your life, trying to be a photographer, taking pictures and trying to look like you knew what you were doing with an iPhone or with whatever you were using for, but now it's just business. Everything is just business. And people are also in the business of trying to look and appear as something that they're truly not completely embodying in their real lives, right? In IRL. That's what they call it in real life? Yes. And I just don't, I don't care about the selfies posting, the like, I look cute today, let me post that. The look at my beautiful house, let me post that. Look at my vehicle, let me post that. Look at the amazing vacation I'm on, let me post that. It's my birthday, look how beautiful the cake is, let me post that. It can go on and on and on and on. And you really have to get to the place where you are not looking for so much outside validation when it comes to the important things that you have in your life. So that's what I'm kind of talking about. What's important to you, right? So I sat there outside, flip it real quick because, I like to move in silence. And I came up with 3 important manifestations for myself right now. And what I realized is that I wanted to share this, but I was like, well, I want to share my own manifestations or my own desires. I'm a move in silence kind of person. I don't want to just give that out. But what I did notice is that they were in 3 major areas in our lives, right? So one of your major manifestations should always be based in something creative, something that you want to create in this life, something that you're doing, a talent, a hobby, something that you're using your mind, your hands, and all of your energy to create and like give to other people in some sense, right? For me, that's been books. For me, that's been learning projects or workshops. That's also been this YouTube channel. I really love the creativity involved in that. I used to edit more, but I just don't want to edit all the time. That's why I'm a straight shot. And like, if I mess up, that is what it is, and I don't really see this messing up. It's like you're having a conversation with me, right? Personal. But that was always the thing, like something that's going to pique my creativity, something that makes me feel like I am co-creating with the world. Another type of manifestation that should always be on your list besides creative is going to be something tangible, right? And that's that practical part that I talk about so many occasions and so often. The reason why I changed the name to the channel, because I'm just like, you can't just sit down and, like, what is it? Spray some potions in the air and go, it's going to come to me, but you're not changing anything practical about the way that you run your life, right? And mind you, while good things may come and it may open you up to more, there's always a certain level of tangible or practical aspects of your manifestations that you have to play a role in, right? So that could be finances, right? That could be organizing your day and your life. That could also be organizing the type of people that you have around you in your space. It could also be something you need to do in the workplace, that you need to organize about what you offer to a job, or if you own a job, it could be your personal business. You can be an entrepreneur, but there's something tangible that should be on that list, something very practical that you can like organize in your day and create or put some time towards it on a regular basis. And while it's small movements in it, maybe you never know when the next movement is just going to go like pop, right? So small movements, but you never know when it's just going to pop. A third thing that I feel like, as far as categories go on what should be on your major manifestations list. And I'm saying 3 because that's just a good number for me. It's small, but it's not too small. 5 is something I lose track of sometimes, but 3, those things stick in my head real big, and they're really particular, like within the next few months, sort of, expansion. Personal, something very personal to you, something that's like your baby. It doesn't have to be creative. It doesn't have to be something super practical, but it should be something related to how you are reinventing yourself on a regular basis so that you are creating and bringing these positive changes into your life, right? Because it's easy to say, oh, the world is treating me like this, and I'm going to just move myself into another environment. I'm not going to deal with these people anymore. I'm going to go over here. And while some of those things may be necessary, I never like to minimize the amount of getting yourself in the right space and making sure you are doing a lot of personal development to improve who you are and to attract people that are better suited for you in so many different environments, right? Whether it's your workplace or we think it has to be different people. But if we also start improving ourselves and we make one of those major manifestations to be more generous, or to be more kind, or to be less judgmental about people when I'm in public places, or to be less pushy, or to slow my pace and be more understanding, right? I'm having to deal with that with a project I'm working on right now. I realize in my life, like in my personal, my home life, I have a very intentional pace, right? But when I get into these environments where I'm doing work, I'm just like, let's get it done. Let's get it done. And then I get matched up with somebody with a very, I would say, slower, intentional pace in that space. And I'm just like, oh, this is killing me. It's like riding behind somebody going 30 miles per hour when the speed limit is 50. You're like, what are you doing? But at the same time, pushing and using any type of force to make these things happen is not going to be beneficial to me. So it's a constant revving up and then pulling back, revving up and then pulling back, right? So there's different parts of our personalities, our personal stuff that we have to always be paying attention to at any given time. Because we could attract all the right things, all the right money, all the right people and instances. But if our personal attitudes haven't shifted, we'll just give it away as soon as, people figure out that we are hard to work with, or we are emotionally unintelligent, or that we are only thinking about ourselves at any given time, right? So keep that in mind. At any given time, you should always be able to take out your notebook and take out a pen and write down your 3 biggest manifestations. Think about something that's in your creative side, something that's, you're not worrying about gaining money from it. If it makes money one day, that's fine, but something you just really like to do. Like one of mine, this is not on this list though, but I just thought about it. It's like finish my puzzle in the next 2 weeks. I've been working on that puzzle for way too long. Now, mind you, I've been doing a lot, but I've been working on that puzzle for way too long. So I pulled it out because I got a little puzzle thing that I roll it up into this little bag. It's like a yoga mat. It's really cool. Then you roll it out and it's in perfect condition. I love it. And within the next 2 weeks, man, it's like, dude, what's up with this puzzle? I was in the store today about to buy a new one. I'm like, you don't deserve a new puzzle because you've been working on that puzzle for months and it's not acceptable. So that's something creative that I like to do. I just enjoy doing it. I don't think it's ever going to be something that's lucrative in any kind of way. Most people I know don't even like to do puzzles. I would love to do puzzles with people, but they don't really usually have the patience to sit there and do puzzles. But that's something I really enjoy. It's non-competitive, so that means it's more social. It's enjoyable. But one day I'm gonna come across people who like to puzzle, and they'll sit down and do a puzzle with me and drink some coffee and chat about nonsense or all that kind of good stuff, right? Then make sure you do something after the creative thing, something tangible, something that you may be procrastinating on, but you really need to do to organize yourself, right? One of mine, which is not on this list, but it probably should be, is to finish the budget that I've been creating. I started creating it at work one day, and somebody kept bothering me about something, and I put it away, but I still see it sitting on my desktop, and I'm just like, oh, I should bring my computer home so I can work on that. But yeah, just, I need to pound out that budget. So that's that tangible stuff. That stuff, you don't really care to do it. It's not really your thing. Maybe you do like budgets or whatever, but it's something that you might procrastinate on because it's just not the fun stuff. And that happens, right? And then after that tangible thing, like that ordered thing, you want to do something that's very personal, something that's related to who you are as a person, where you're trying to grow, and what type of person you'd like to present to the world. And that's not like a fake persona. That's like an authentic, genuine version of yourself, right? Because a lot of people can walk out in the world and be inauthentic. If you're in the line in the morning going, oh, good morning, would you like some coffee? With people you work with or stuff like that. And then, on the inside, you're saying, I hate these people. These people get on my nerves. I can't stand being around these people. Well, that's not an authentic personal change, is it? Right? And someone might say, well, changing your reaction to people first is better than kind of, sort of. But if the venom is still back there, are you really working on the venom or are you glossing it over, right? That's like any bad behaviors and negative things we have going on in ourselves. You can't gloss over them or hide them or tuck them away in a shoebox in the bottom of the cabinet and go, okay, we're not going to touch on anything that bothers that. So we're just going to gloss over it and be a good person everywhere we go. Because this is the problem with that. When you are not willing to own up to things about yourself that you see as negative or things that are hidden away in pieces of yourself, you wind up gaslighting other people. Because those who are genuine and authentic, they can feel the discrepancy. And when they can feel that discrepancy, but you're all like rainbows and butterflies, it really messes with people's heads because they know something is amiss, but they can't put their finger on it and you're not giving any insight. It makes it really hard to create genuine and authentic connections with people because you unknowingly or mistakenly or even knowingly sometimes gaslight other people and they feel drained and confused around you. And it's nothing that they're doing wrong. It's just that their radar is going off, but everything on the outside looks like perfect, right? And you're just like, what? Something is, So you got to get to the bottom of the personal stuff. So any given time, like I said, I don't want to go off on that tangent. You have three major things that I feel like is a great list for like manifestation. Something that's very creative and fun that you just like doing. Something that's very tangible that you might be procrastinating or putting off. And then something else that really digs deep into your person as who you are and where you're trying to develop yourself on an emotional, spiritual level, intellectual level, all those things included in one. All right. That's all I got to talk about. I hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. I was in the store and my daughter was like, that shirt is ugly. And I was like, that shirt will be cute with some high waist jeans. And she's just like, it's ugly. And I'm like, this shirt is too cute. I put it on this morning, come out the room and she's like, okay, it's cute. I've always had a knack for picking up the ugliest thing on the rack because I got a vision. I'm like, that'll be cute once you put it on and put this with it and put that with it. I used to go shopping with my sister and she'd always make fun of me because I always just went to the most unattractive and out of whack thing on the rack, nothing plain and boring. And she'd smack it out of my hand and go, oh, that's ugly. And some stuff I was just really, I'm like, I like it. I think I'm gonna buy it. I just, I like what I like. And I would go grab it and go put it on in the dressing room and she'd be like, okay, it's not that bad. You made it look cute. And I'm like, because my vision showed me, I got a little fashion sense about me sometimes, especially in my old age. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and make that list. Get those 3 big manifestations out there. And then once you put them on paper, put a date on it, close that little book and move in silence. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.